what do you make of the Draymond suspension? Is it something that can tear the Warriors asunder, do you think, Chris Mannix?
I think it's something that could. I'm with you that I wouldn't bet on it doing it. That's a far too talented team. But it's interesting that they suspended him because a couple of years ago, Draymond Green went after Steve Kerr in a locker room in Oklahoma City. They had to be physically separated. That didn't rise to a suspension in the eyes of Golden State Warriors management. This does. Now, there's a lot of questions about why this does. Was it something that Draymond said in the locker room, did in the locker room that was just different from what happened with Kerr? Or, a lot of people around the league believe this is kind of an olive branch to Kevin Durant, saying that, look, we're siding with you on this. We believe that you were in the right. Draymond was in the wrong. We're going to send a message to Draymond that was intolerable. So the Warriors aren't saying much. People behind the scenes aren't saying much. But this is different than anything Draymond's done before.
Well, the Draymond Kerr moment in the locker room, as it was reported again during their championship run last year, was seen as a watershed moment for the positive between the two men and the team and the organization as a whole, that they were able to get through it. They were able to get out whatever needed to be gotten out. Is there any possibility that you see, it's still early on, that this could be essentially viewed in hindsight as that as well?
I think it's possible because, Draymond and KD have gone at it before, and they've maintained a pretty strong friendship. Remember, it was Draymond that was the principal guy recruiting KD all throughout his last season in Oklahoma City. But how many times can you keep sort of doing that, Rich? How many times can you keep having these blow-ups and thinking it's going to become a positive with this team? I know there are some veterans inside that locker room that, over the last couple of years have been getting a little tired of being the adults in the room. Draymond is a beloved teammate. There's no question about that. But the heart on your sleeve, over-emotional stuff, I know it does wear on people inside that locker room. Now, I don't know how that manifests itself for this year, but moving forward, people have suggested this could be the last time we see this Golden State team together with Durant. They may look to move off of Draymond Green after this year. They may look to do some different things if Kevin Durant decides to leave via free agency, which is what a lot of people around the league believe anyway, Rich. I can't tell you. I've covered a lot of big-name free agents over the last 10 years. There are people, and they don't necessarily have direct knowledge of Durant, but there are people that believe unequivocally that Durant's gone. Like, no question. Like, no way. Not even a chance he goes back to Golden State this year. Smart people I talk to all the time that never say stuff like this, that believe unequivocally that Kevin Durant is going somewhere else.
Well, if those smart people know that Draymond Green's no dummy, then maybe that's what is the base of him reportedly talking about his impending free agency in the heat of a moment of an actual NBA game that's being played out.
Yeah,
in November.
Steve Kerr said that, free agency had nothing to do with it. I don't really believe that. I think whatever was said, the specifics that were said behind the scenes, I think Durant's free agency is playing into some of the tension here. Now, that tension was kind of masked over in the early part of the season because they were playing great basketball. I saw them play 2 games in New York, and the narrative wasn't, Durant's free agency necessarily, even when he's going through New York. It was, wow, you guys are off to a better start than you were last year. Durant and Steph Curry look like they're more in sync than ever before. They made that video, the Fergie video, inside the Knicks locker room. Right. Everything is going well, but I think there are cracks in there, and there have been cracks in that foundation that an incident like this certainly brings to light.
Chris Mannix here in the Honda Insider Report. Ask him the poll question, Chris. What do you have over there?
Yeah, so we're looking at this drama, Chris. What's the more likely scenario for the Warriors next year? Durant gone, Draymond gone via trade, both gone, or both back?
I think Durant gone easily the most likely. Draymond's, he's got another year on that contract, I believe.
Yes.
So I don't think they extend him. He's going to be over 30 when that time comes to pay him. A guy like Draymond that doesn't shoot the ball well, doesn't have great size. They don't age particularly well in the NBA. And I think the Warriors will have a number that they want to offer Draymond and won't go any higher. But, Durant's going to walk away at the end of this year, most likely scenario. Durant's 30 years old. He's going to have multiple championships under his belt, 3 championships under his belt, and a blank slate. Nobody can say you've never won championships. You can do whatever you want. That's why I think New York continues to be the most likely destination, because he can go there and we know that winning a championship in New York would mean more than 2 or 3 championships anywhere else. They haven't won since the early 70s. They've been so dysfunctional, really, for the last 2 decades. Going to New York and winning something would be an incredible feather in Durant's cap. And he can also, I don't know if this means anything to him, but he could also do what LeBron James declined to do. LeBron declined to go to New York and take on the challenge that is the Knicks. He could go there and maybe win a championship, which LeBron did. I don't think he wants to play with LeBron either, Rich. People like to put him... When you're a player, not just Durant, but when you reach a certain threshold of championships, you no longer want to be the guy that helps LeBron win championships. You want to be the guy that becomes the LeBron of this generation. You want to be the Kobe of this generation, the Michael of this generation. You want to win the most championships of any player in your era.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.